very first episode of Hospitality, Hope, and Hustle. I am AJ Redlinger, for those that don't know me, and I'm excited to get things going. This is obviously my first time doing something like this, if you can't tell already. So bear with me over this process, and hopefully we'll be able to bring something unique and different and something needed for us. So for those that don't know me, I work in the hospitality industry, and right now I'm working at a Hyatt hotel in Houston or Baytown, Texas. I have a passion for not only providing excellent service, but just leading a life of faith, especially within the hospitality industry. And along with that, just a passion to drive not only a hustle attitude or a working attitude, both at work, but also at home and in my family life. And whether it is your career, your family, or just personal growth, I believe that hope, hustle, and hospitality all go hand in hand, not only for you, but also for those around you. So this community in particular is created especially for young men in their 20s and 30s. They can be younger, but this is kind of where the focus lies. Because you guys are the ones out there hustling every day to provide for either yourself through personal growth and preparing for whatever your future holds, or you're starting families, building careers, and also trying to be involved as much as you can within the church. So this space is designed to sharpen those skills, to keep hope and faith strong, as well as just a space for putting in the hard work and seeing other people doing the same thing, to provide some extra motivation to continue doing the good work. So before I go too much further, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our interview that'll be happening later this week. Not sure when it will actually be released, as editing the movie is also something that I'm not usually doing. So it might take a little bit longer than normal, but we'll have the privilege of talking with Garret Martin. Some of you will know him, many of you probably do. He's been a great friend of mine, ever since college, really, playing soccer with him, staying connected over time, and just seeing kind of his life and how it's twisted and turned from what I remember our conversations were at college to what they are now, and seeing everything that he's done. I won't go too much into it, but I believe he has a lot to share, both from a hospitality standpoint, a hard work and hustle standpoint, as well as a faith standpoint. So it'll be the full gambit of interesting lessons and just conversation, hopefully. The next thing that I wanted to quickly go over are some apps that I use on a regular basis, that I'll probably refer to over time, and just wanted to go ahead and plug those so that in the future, if you're ever wondering, what is that, you can refer back to this main video, and I'll probably have some links in there too. But the first one is Libby. Libby is a free app. You just connect to a library card, which is also free. Just have to go grab one. Once you do that, you have access to that library's audiobook and actual book inventory. You have 2 weeks to read or listen to it, and then you can renew. Some books may be on hold, but that's been a huge help for me, as I've never been a reader. So listening to audiobooks was something that I was able to do on my way to work, during those extra few minutes when I can't really do much else but sit and listen. So that's the first one. Yuka is the second one, and this kind of fits into the health side of this series community. But if you haven't heard of it, you essentially scan a barcode, and it'll tell you all the ingredients that are listed in it, and it'll tell you the additives that they put in it. It'll tell you if they're harmful, if they've been linked to certain cancerous things or other health issues. It gives you a score, So it's pretty interesting when you start to look at it, but something to take a look at. School, which is essentially the community that this lives. It's not obviously just for this, but there are a lot of other people that have a community. If you're looking to build any kind of brand or just find like-minded people to share ideas and learn from, you can hop on there. There is a way that it can be monetized, which at some point I'll probably be introducing some courses along the way, for a couple bucks here and there, for those that want a little bit more attention on a certain area. Most likely, a series focused on hospitality, and then another series focused on just a workout or health side, and then probably another one just focused on a faith side, at least to start with, but that'll be further down the road. ChatGPT, I would like to consider myself a somewhat smart person, but ChatGPT makes it a lot quicker and easier, whereas I might spend 30 minutes looking up something to try and understand it. ChatGPT makes it much easier, so I'm definitely not going to say that all this is me. I'm definitely using some help. And then the last thing is Rocket Money. We use it. We've probably been using it for a while. It's been really helpful. You pay as much as you feel the app is worth, which is also nice, but it's a good way to keep an eye on finances and linking, any kind of assets that you have to kind of see kind of where you are as a whole. So it gives you a good idea. So that's pretty much all I'll say as far as the introduction goes. So as far as our main topic for today, our main focus will be on every guest, every time, no matter what. I had the privilege of working with a great chef a couple years back, who had spent his whole life really in hospitality. Along the way, he had been tasked with changing culture in multiple locations, and so I've taken a few of his ideas, merged with some of Hyatt's values and ideas to create essentially this list that I believe are very important, that both correlate to the actual hospitality industry, hotels for me, but also for a life career balance and faith as well. So this cornerstone is extraordinary service. So in hospitality, it's about delivering not just good service, but a service that goes beyond expectations every single time. So, it's interesting because, especially in hospitality, we're told that, we need to interact with the guest in a certain way, but sometimes it's easy to get caught off guard. Maybe you're coming around the corner, you didn't see someone, and boom, they're right in front of you. Now, you could, walk past and, move on with your day, not say anything. You don't have that extra second to think, oh, I need to smile, I need to say good morning. But that mentality of every guest is important, even if the guest is walking around with their hands in their phone or their eyes on their phone, it's still important for us to reach out. Someone that seems out of place, doesn't matter, we serve them. That goes for the restaurant as well. Someone's checking in, they need a place to stay. And so sometimes it's easier to have misconceptions of people, to stereotype them, and I believe that's not only in hospitality. I believe that flows through everything else that we do. As Christians, we are called to be servants and to essentially be servants, right? That's what Christ came here to do, to show that, even though he was still Christ, he came to not to serve, but to be served, and or not to be served, but to serve. Got that backwards. And so, my whole industry is based on service, but a lot of other people's industries, whereas it may not be a hospitality industry, you are still involved every day with being hospitable to people, whether that's in your career, or just, even at church, your extracurriculars, it's always there. So, again, I'll be pulling some stuff occasionally to intertwine. And in this case, this whole post is more so career sided, but there are still parts that could be connected. So in this case, Colossians 3:23, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as for working for the Lord. It doesn't really matter, simple or complex. We're going to create an experience, and we're going to treat that guest the same way that we would treat any other guest, in the same way we treat our family, the same way that we would treat a friend or a stranger. It's very tough to do sometimes, but again, as Christians, we're called to do it, and as leaders, we're called to do it, and people watch us and see our reactions to other people all the time, whether at the grocery store or whatever. I think you all kind of get the idea. Whereas, some of these that I'll be going over, they seem pretty simple and straightforward, but you'd be surprised at how many times, you're not creating that experience every single time. So kind of the last thing here is the challenge, I guess, for the week. Find a moment where you can go above and beyond for someone, guest, coworker, family member. And then when you do, just remember that, every action, no matter how small, reflects who you are, reflects who Christ is, and the values that you hold. I'll kind of leave you with one little antidote, I guess. But August and I, we go to the library, we pick out a couple books, or 12 books every week or 2 weeks. And this particular week, I picked up a book. It was called Ordinary Mary. And the whole point of the book is, this ordinary person, ordinary little girl, brought a basket of blueberries she picked and dropped them at the doorstep of Mrs. Bishop. Mrs. Bishop doesn't know who it came from. She bakes 5 baskets and gives them to the people that she think she gave them to. Well, those 5 people are so excited and happy that they received it that they go out and help 5 more people. And then from there, those people are so happy that they go and help 5 more people. And it goes through an older gentleman, it goes through a homeless lady, it goes through a doctor, to a mom. Anyway, it goes all around the world, essentially. And eventually ends back with her, from someone doing something kind to her and providing a service or hospitality, whatever you want to call it. And the book illustrated that essentially your actions, your service, if you are friendly to 5 people and those 5 people are then friendly and hospitable and provide service and all those things that we want, that by, I think it's after 10 or 15 of those 5 to 5 to 5 more to 5 more, and branches out, that essentially the whole world would be covered. I know that kind of sounds like save the world, everybody's got to, everybody kumbaya, but the point is that every interaction, no matter how ordinary and small, can create lasting ripples, repercussions, consequences. So something to remember there. So I'd love to hear from you guys. I know there's only a few of you right now, but just drop them in the comments below this video. Share some stories where you either provided or received extraordinary service. And like I said, we'll be hearing from and talking with Garret later this week. So hopefully you're ready for that. And again, if you found this helpful, like, share, subscribe, and hopefully we can build a community for men with a purpose to hustle hard and always to keep hope alive. And I will see you all next time. Thanks.